Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the StarLadder StarSeries Season 14. This is our one and only North American game for this evening. Winterfox taking on Team Noble. Winterfox just won our first map back over on Dust 2. And now we're going to our second map over here on Mirage. Or not Mirage, Cash, wow. My name is Blue. Joining me this evening is Dust Red. So Dust, how the hell did I mix those two up? Dust, let's talk a little bit about this match here.
Well, this is actually the one map Winterfox in an interview that Desi said was like their worst map so far. Like on all the scrims and practice they were doing, they were struggling the most on this map, and the only game they've played on it was a loss to Complexity in ESEA. However, with Noble, they just had a recent loss on Cash themselves to Complexity as well in their first opening matchup of the StarLadder. So I don't really know what to expect here, actually. I mean, obviously, Winterfox kind of known as the better team, but apparently this is one of the maps they've struggled with, so maybe there's some type of opening there for Noble. And they do get the opening pick in this round with emong taking out LeX on this aggressive mid setup from Winterfox. They just keep getting ripped apart, actually, keep pushing through and keep getting out-traded, so this is looking good so far for Noble.
Noble gonna have to make the nice decision here as to where they're going to take this, because Winterfox, again, try to keep themselves split up a little bit here, but we can see Anger now falling a little bit further back into the B site, because we are going to see a commitment from flowsicK over towards A, or at the very least he's going to reach towards middle to try and investigate what's going on there. He may have a chance to find shots, but now the take is going to begin with smokes and whatnot, so he's going to have to come back over there to support from heaven, and that's exactly where he's going to place himself here, as Anger tries to hold it. They do move a player inside of the vents to try and come in to support these guys, but actually the take is fairly slow, so Winterfox will give it a lot of time to rotate into assist, but still ultimately working against this 3-on-5 now, and there's going to be one kill that comes out. flowsicK does catch a trade for this, and desi coming in there too, picks up one, looking for the other, but he gets gooshed down to 7 HP, so he's going to have to be careful, falls back, ultimately lets the T's find this player for themselves, but they're not looking so good either. rob-wiz, though, finishing off one, and they've got the crossfire onto the final player there, so it's going to be shots that finishes it off for Noble, and they will pick up the pistol around here on map number 2.
Yeah, just to try an attempt at an aggressive setup there from Winterfox at mid right off the bat led to an instant 4-on-3 in favor of Noble. And I think Noble was just able to kind of use that overwhelming force to just kind of overpower that B-bomb site and secure the round. Desi had a crack at trying to make the retake work and just didn't quite come to fruition, however. And so Noble will move on, loading up on those SMGs on 4 players, wanting to see if they can't, you know, rake in the cash.
LeX there. Not the best start to the round for him, unfortunately. He gets hit basically dead on with a nade. Does 98 damage to him, and then he's finished back off there. Just a casual shot from Flom. Still gets some damage. Just gets some... Does get some damage onto him before he ends up falling. But ultimately, of course, we still see that kill going their way. This is a fairly light round from Winterfox. Of course, a couple deagles coming into play. This is something that Winterfox do quite a bit, but no armor or anything sitting behind it. So let's see what goes on in round number 3, too, as we can expect a couple more coming into play from this one. But ultimately, so far, Noble doing great. There's a good pop flash, though, and this allows Anger trying to get some damage onto these guys. He does light up Rowan now down to 59 HP, but now these guys are coming back in. flowsicK comes in, finds a headshot kill on his shots to shut him down, but still, all these frags are being traded back out or being given to these guys for free. So there's rob-wiz lining up another one onto desi, fighting him through the smoke. He saw him just before it flew him back out. And Xp3, the final player of the live, stuck in heaven at this point, so not a whole lot he's going to be able to do for his team.
Yeah, I think he pretty much nailed it. Just, you know, Noble being able to get the frags without really any ability for Winterfox to get any type of trades. And it's obviously around you don't expect them to be able to do much on. I mean, they just have pistols. But we have seen that deagle be pretty deadly as of late. A lot of people being able to put it to use. You know, Guardian really known for Anavi, obviously Happy from Envy. It had that big ace on in front, everyone always remembers. So it's become more viable for sure over time, but it's still, you know, Winterfox not able to put it to use too much in this particular round. And that'll be Noble getting up to 2-0, doing so without taking really any damage either. Only one player going to have to make a repurchase, and Flom and emong able to get some kills with those SMGs to try to, you know, get some extra money in the bank. So Noble setting themselves up so far here in this first half of cash.
So now we see them again going for the big investment here, just into the SMGs, I should mention, in order to try and stock them up with a little bit more cash this time. emong himself is going to upgrade to an AK as he tosses over his MP7 over towards shots, but for the rest of these guys on Winterfox, again, they aren't really able to upgrade too much this time. They do just save for the real gun round. Xp3 still has his deagle coming in previously, but beyond this, it's mainly P250s, and they've got 157 sitting on desi. So another very light round for Winterfox. They tend to do this quite a bit on their CT side, as desi in a very bad position. He doesn't know that he's caught him yet, so he is able to creep back outside, but with 3 HP, there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do. But back to the main point, Winterfox, they do this a lot on their CT side. They save up, and basically they focus on the first gun round when they lose the pistol, because that's obviously, again, where they can come into play with the op, with the full utility and everything behind that as well, and that's where they can make some big impact.
Yeah, curious to see how the CT side is going to go. Again, Xp3 going to be able to get the AWP here right off the bat in the first round. See him be able to put that to use. See how they want to use them. You know, that's going to be the most interesting thing. You see a lot of teams use ops as side anchors, but then you have the classic kind of mid position like Adren plays for Liquid. So I'm curious what type of opera Xp3 wants to be on this map, especially since they're probably still experimenting with it since they're struggling with it. So it'll be cool to see if they test something new out here tonight as Noble. Just going to go for a pretty solid 8 hit here in a 5-on-4.
So LeX is finding one here with a headshot. Trading back out. LeX still alive and well, though. Still up and rolling, even though most of his teammates have fallen down. He's going to have to fall back over here towards Highway, but unfortunately he's been flanked down by rob-wiz, so he's going to be able to execute him. And now just Xp3 trying to find the shots with some of these guys. Not able to line up with the Deagle. There we go. Catches one on a Flom. Takes him a couple attempts. Now being caught back, but there's another one. And now it's down to a 1-on-1. Trying to clutch things out against Emong. Waiting for him to peek. Will he go for it? He's going to do it. Lights him up once, but now he's down to 5 HP as well. He's got to be careful. Trying to get up close and personal with it. No kit, so he's got to be a little bit careful with this factor too. But Emong trying to find him. He can't do it. He's sweating in his pants right now. Xp3 looking for the angle. Almost connects it again, but both these guys are falling back now. He's flanking around him, but ultimately Emong, scared as a cat, just hangs back around the corner, and thankfully he's going to be able to win out the round.
I think he might have been doing more than sweating in his pants there, Blue, but glad you were a PC about it. As we are going to see Noble getting onto the 3-0 start, but Xp3 makes that expensive. You know, almost has a crack at the clutch there. Getting a couple extra kills, going to be able to put that op to use here. Not going to be glass cannon or anything either. He does have the head armor, no utility, but that's fine. He will anchor B, and they will go for that 3-man aggression. This is one of the styles that you can do, this 1-3-1 type play. And Xp3 will find the op pick there on the Flom, and he finds rob-wiz. So that's always good when your anchor is getting these types of kills while you set up the rest of your players.
Third peek comes out there too, but thankfully it's flash. They're not going to be able to find it this time for Xp3. Misses that connecting shot. He knows there's still a presence here, and now flowsicK, it's going to be his turn to push into this. The pop flash comes out from him. He's going to move for it, but everybody on Noble has evacuated away from this by this point. So Roa safely inside of the mid garage. More players moving themselves. One's in the boosted position. 2 more waiting outside of that garage too. They're just going to see if they can find him, but flowsicK lines him up. Not able to execute the second player. Shots takes him down, but he's taking some hits too. And out pops LeX. Finds a player on boost spot, and now just shots, unfortunately. Trying to move in for a quick play onto the B site, but I don't think he's going to get it. There's a nasty surprise waiting for him, and there's Xp3's third kill.
Yeah, I mean, when you're trying to set up default like Noble was, just spreading out across the map, and you suffer 2 picks in the first, 10 or 15 seconds of the round, and you're instantly in a 3-on-5, that's always going to be a tall task to play your way out of, and in the end, Winterfox able to capitalize on. The Xp3 even finds a third frag there at the end, so well done. They will shape it back up. They're going back now to kind of a 2-1-2, so they're moving that op around, and they're being dynamic on their CT setup, keeping Noble guessing. Noble is going to go for an A rush here, though, and the rotate's pretty far away, so there's an opportunity here.
What? They've let LeX just sit here. He's going to rip these guys apart. They had him down, but for some reason, one of these players just walks up to Big Red and thinking he's safe, thinking his teammate does have control of that, and that's not the case. And unfortunately, what could have been a good entry is ultimately denied there, and Winterfox just shut it down once again here. Now up to their own second point. Noble is going to be able to get another buy round before Winterfox ultimately tie, but look at how clean these rounds have been here previously for Winterfox. They get one with 4 players left alive. The previous one, nobody ends up going down, so they actually have a lot of money coming into this gun round.
I mean, when you look at how that's shaping up, it seems like that could be an opportunity for Noble. They got the Tech 9s, they're closing the distance, the rotate's pretty far off. They just had these 2 guys isolating the site. It looks good, but I mean, LeX, stand-up play there from the door. Gets a kill. Xp3 does go down, however, with his op this time at B, and now Anger's stuck here in checkers. He'll go out as well, and so Noble look like they're going to return the favor here quite quickly, but flowsicK gets a kill. He's holding it off, and the bomb's still off a ways, and flowsicK evens the odds, so that's big that Noble couldn't capitalize on that.
We do see him, as he said before, evening out the odds there. Now it's brought down to that 3-on-3. The mid play is going to happen in a second. flowsicK actually not expect this to come from boost. Tries to adjust the aim accordingly, but not going to be able to do so in time. Emong eliminates him. Now they've got mid wide open again, and for the final players on Winterfox, they have to split themselves 1-to-1. Not a lot of intel gained from these kinds of plays either, so they still have no clue where the bomb is going to be taken.
LeX is making a push, though. Maybe he gets behind these guys at mid in time, and if desi can just hold his ground at quad, just buy the time, let LeX keep slithering around here.
It's going to be big. Look at it creeping right in behind these guys. They have no clue. Misses up the first shot, though, and that could have been huge if he just waited for them to be a little bit more out in the open. That was a little bit risky on that because those guys could have easily backed behind cover and they would have had the 2-on-2, but now it's been thrown by the wayside here. desi gonna have to try to clutch this out in the 1 versus 3, but he's got no angle to work from. Gonna have to reestablish it himself, and as he works his way out, Flom is waiting for him from Sunroom. He's gonna miss his shot, so he will get a chance at a duel, but he's already been revealed, and he realizes this isn't gonna be possible. He's fallen back. He's looking to save that rifle.
Yeah, I mean, Noble just kind of always being able to stay a little bit out in front of Winterfox that round. They got the initial 2 picks at B. flowsicK even it up a bit, but it's always going to favor Terrace. Plus, you mentioned that counter boost got it right back into a 3-on-2. LeX tries to make that nice little flanking maneuver, but he misses his opportunity. He doesn't find the shot. It evens, it leaves desi alone. and he's not able to do much with it. So just trying to save this M4 over on the A site. Seems like Team Noble's not giving too big of a chase, so he should be able to hold on to it, no problem. But we're starting to get a little bit scrappy here in the beginning of the half with Noble, you know, fighting right back at Winterfox.
Yeah, and they'll hold that 4-2 advantage for the time being. Keeping the op in play here too, but a lot more rebuys having to come out there for two of those guys. That's going to help to keep the money just a little bit low. As we can see, you know, the biggest amount that they've got floating on right now is Flom with 3.1k. The rest of these guys sitting around 2k. Probably not going to look so good again if we see Winterfox upsetting, because with that save, and again, because of the good money that they've had, they're still able to go for it in the buy. And look at this huge play, middle anger, turning around, only ends up getting one kill from that play. Emong finds a trade, but in comes LeX with an 8. He's going to pick up one. Roa trades that back out, is able to take down LeX, and that ultimately brings us into an even traded scenario there. 3-on-3. As whoa, that nade goes everywhere. And we see that coming outside of Z there too.
Look at this.
Look at this now. flowsicK tries to push, doesn't even realize that Flom's inside a sunroom. It's going to be an easy kill for Flom. That puts the advantage back in the favor of Noble. Xp3 shutting one down. Falls back inside of CT, but Flom catching that one as well. That takes down Xp3. And now this should be another one that we should be able to see Noble come out on top of. Yeah,
just the mid-exchange didn't quite work out there. Anger only able to find one kill in his position. It's kind of Winterfox's favor just for a split second. They kind of had a little bit of a 4-on-3 there, but Noble just, you know, be able to respond so well over on the B side of the map. You know, Flom getting the jump on that aggressive player there in the B lobby and just being able to sweep to the B bomb side after that, and they will finally force Winterfox onto a save. So 5-on-2 on the scoreboard here, and a great opportunity for a 6th round here for Noble, as Winterfox doesn't have much to work with. They will get aggressive at B, but, you know, Noble's looking out for this.
So for the members of Team Noble now, they'll be pushing forward again, keeping themselves pretty spread out here at the beginning of it. Not really going to give any commitment towards either of these sites just as of yet. Looking to see if they can find some of that aggression from Winterfox, because especially with this now being an eco for them, it's very likely that we'll see some investigative movement coming out from these guys, trying to look for these kills, or at the very least find some info so they can try to get the proper rotation. As if anything is going to save them on a very light round like this, it would be proper rotations. But right from the beginning, Anger is going to end up getting shut down there by Flom. He attempts to push out to Streaky. That doesn't go so well, and there's a second kill from Flom as well as he takes out LeX from inside. An attempt from flowsicK to eliminate shots does not go very well at all either. And this one should pretty much be in the bag for these guys. But in comes desi. He's still got that deagle. Picks up a good shot onto shots. And now these guys are just going to line up for the 8-tick there to try to challenge him directly.
Yeah, he's actually backed off over here to Truck, trying to pair up with Xp3 a bit, see if, you know, they can't have one last hurrah in this round, so to speak, and see if they can't find a way to still pull it out. But desi, he's been spotted by Roa. He'll get taken down, and that pretty much ends any hopes that they would have here. It's a 1-on-4 for Xp3, and he's not going to be able to do much, but maybe, you know, pick up a kill at mid, try to collect a gun, but Roa going to deny that, and 6-2 will be the score now here in favor of Noble. And again, desi talking before the game about how this is a map that his team's been struggling on, and so far on this CT side, that has been the case. They haven't really been able to consistently find success. They had a run of a couple of rounds, but Noble's already responded in a big way, and they have a nice lead.
So this will be another buy round coming out from the side of Winterfox. A little bit light on utility there when you look at Xp3, but the rest of these guys are in fairly good position, so it should make up for this once again when you look at the rest of the team. Noble, of course, fully armed to the teeth. No op coming into play this time on Flom, interestingly enough. He's been using this quite a bit, and they have been relying on that in order to make some progress. But there'll be a little bit of a battle at the beginning of it between desi and shots. Ultimately, no one's going to kill anybody, but as these guys work their way in, Roa gets the first kill into flowsicK here by finding an entryway inside of Checkers. Anger's going to trade that back out, keeps himself alive, but a little bit too aggressive. Pops out, rob-wiz is going to be able to take him down, and now they've got control of the B side here, at least partially. Xp3 is still in play, but can't directly contest the plant scenario now, and it's going to come on to LeX, who works his way back in to find a kill into shots now. Hopefully they can make some progress on this retake. A good nade coming in, that brings rob-wiz down to 20 HP after he gets the plant going in, but also here Xp3 is going to be 9 of anything else as he gets smoked off from heaven, and I think this is going to cause the save call here from the two remaining players on Winterfox.
Yeah, it seems so. I mean, B has just been kind of a weak point here for Winterfox throughout this half. I mean, short of Xp3 being able to stand tall with the op in that one particular round, they've really kind of had a lot of issues here being able to prevent Noble from overwhelming them on that side of the map, and they've found repeated rounds over there. Now it's going to be 7-2. The op will be saved by Xp3. desi is going to be able to hold on to the M4, and they're starting to draw near to that max loss bonus, but they're still not quite there yet, so not quite sure what they want to do here. It seems like they will just maybe get some... No, they will drop a FAMA, so they're going to try to force up here. I think they feel the urgency to get rounds here and now before this gets too out of control.
This could only end up destabilizing them a little bit more, because we can see, you know, they're still not all going to have rifles here. flowsicK is down to a 5-7 to work with, so this could really solidify an absolutely huge lead from Team Noble coming out of this first half. As now if they win this one, they're up to 8 points, and that's going to be a double save from Winterfox. They're potentially going to be up around, maybe only single save, because they would be on full losing bonus at that point, but still, that would now be, at the very least, about 9 points that Noble would have. And it can definitely grow from there, too, because Winterfox has been very inconsistent with these CT rounds, even when they have been able to pick them up.
You also got to think, if you're struggling to win straight up gun rounds, a broken buy like this is going to be even worse. And so you have to try to make do. Desi boosted up here, trying to see if he can't find some pixel shots on these heads, and he's able to find one before they figure out where he is. They still don't know where he is, and they have double quad set up. So there's a chance to hold this.
That's another great shot from Desi, too. Completely blind, finds out Ro, and able to take him down. They're trying to push back in, but Desi's another good angle, and flowsicK's helping him out. They shut it down, and that's no progress made at all by Noble. They find one kill on LeX, but that's all they grab out of this round.
And they get a double op setup now out of that, and they pick up 2 AKs, so that kind of slowly helps them start crawling out of that hole that they kind of set up for themselves economically. They don't have to do a crazy amount of rebuying either, but come on, the money reset's still going to be, you know, pretty detrimental if they can't win this round. Noble still, of course, has a good bit of money, but a loss here would lead to them saving as well. And if that happens, Winterfox to get right back into the game with like a scoreline of 5-7, say. So this is a really, really big round for both teams. Either Winterfox gets themselves back in the running, or Noble begins to pull way out ahead. That's kind of the two different scenarios that could come out of this. And you see Noble just kind of slowed down, spread out in default. LeX takes his second op to B and finds the opening pick.
He's going to eat a nade because of that, though, so now he's down to 18 HP, and he's got to be very, very careful with his positioning, at least for the rest of this round. flowsicK in the corner just outside of teammate entryway into B. He might get tested in a moment here, as we can see. Rob's getting ready to move in, but they can actually see each other there. Thankfully, flowsicK was completely flashed, so he's not going to be able to spot any of this, so Rob picks up the trade kill from earlier. And now again here, ultimately, he's just going to end up falling back from this. Can't really directly contest what's going on. Actually, I'm wrong about that. He tries to roll on, but what's important is with all these nades and whatnot, he's throwing the false rotation from Winterfox, so they think there's this big play happening here. It's not the case, and now all this pressure is on Xp3 for the main take. He's going to get shut down by Flom. Doesn't happen through the door necessarily, but very blind shot there comes out from Flom in order to shut down Xp3, and now they've got a hold on this one. It's going to be really rough on this retake from Winterfox.
Yeah, they really bit on rob-wiz over that B, rotated really heavy, left Xp3 alone. He's able to get one kill, and LeX has found one pretty quickly in this retake. So 3-on-2, they also find rob-wiz peeking in A main, and wow, just as quickly as we thought Noble was going to shut out that round with the man advantage, we see Winterfox being able to make the retake work very rapidly, and they get the defuse, and again, Noble in a tough spot. They're going to get their money reset here. They did get a bomb plan, but it's still not really enough for a super comfortable buy. They would be pretty much forcing if they decided to buy into it. And I don't know what they're deciding here just yet. They're kind of talking it out, but they ultimately decide just to go for the Tech 9s and stuff, not force the issue. And this is Winterfox's opportunity to hop right back into this one.
So for Team Noble now, again, as we've already mentioned, basically going to be broken here at this point. They can't even go for armor behind a lot of these upgraded pistols here, so they're just going to get shut down and attempt to take early mid control. 2 kills already coming out for these guys. They're going to be able to find more if they get aggressive here once again. There's Desi rolling in, and Anger just comes right inside of the garage, picks up an additional frag. It's all on Ro at this point, but he too quickly dispatched by Desi. And that'll be Winterfox now up to 5 points. And another very clean round, so it does help their money. See, it's stacked up to a very good spot. 9.2k sitting on Desi, 5.4k on Anger, 6.2k over here on Xp3. This is a good base built up, but again, now they're going to be tested almost immediately after this because Noble can go directly into another gun round.
That they can, but they're also bought down pretty low themselves, and if they can't get a bomb plan or get a round win here, they could be right back to saving while Winterfox goes for the tie at 7-all. So again, this is kind of one of those big rounds where we kind of see if Noble can hold this off from Winterfox. As you know, Winterfox's money is still okay. A loss here doesn't lead to immediate save. They still keep themselves in this, so this is kind of Noble's, you know, last chance to hold them off, and we do see Flom being able to pick up LeX over there on the A side. So that's a good opening pick there for them. Let's see how they're able to respond to it.
Anger going to be able to jump outside the vents, finds another kill back over here on Heroic, catches him completely off guard, but still Winterfox not really able to figure out where exactly this play is coming in towards Desi. Has a good eye on middle here, and he's going to be the first to see this play coming back in. The big question is he going to see the bomb if these members take it with them, and it doesn't actually look like that's the case for now. Pop Flash comes over, they're going to go for this play. Desi's been completely blinded by it too, but nobody investigated the cubby as of yet. He's still completely safe. Nobody's checked it. He could be such a big player here at this point if he's not found out. And look, there we go. Thankfully, emong catches it. He tries to wait it out and hopes I'm catching some more players, but ultimately he is found before they get a chance to do so. So that could have been a big built-up play, but doesn't end up happening. And now it's down to a 2-on-4 at this point too because of the other kills that Noble has been able to find. So it's turned directly back around. flowsicK still holding behind Big Red though. He's going to pop out, finds another one, but now he's overexposed. He's got to try to run away from these guys. Won't be the case. Shots takes him back out, and now it's on Anger to clutch this out in a 1 versus 2. He'll press forward, looking for this kill on his shots. Won't be able to find it, but does some good damage. Now he's working against a double spray angle, and that's just not the best case scenario for him. So Shots shuts it down, and Team Noble get themselves right back onto the saddle, up to 8 points.
Yeah, it's kind of the big play there, being able to pick up Xp3, who you could see he was committing to the peak to try to see if he couldn't kind of bait for Desi a bit, kind of draw their attention away and set Desi up to be able to get, you know, a backstab and a good set of frags to get him right back into the round, but that didn't work out at all. Not only did they get Xp3, they silenced Desi before he could get a single frag, and that's really massive That pretty much tilted it way in favor of Noble. Yeah, flowsicK puts on some heroics to grab a couple of kills at A to give Anger a shot at a 1-on-2, but doesn't get the job done, and that's Noble going to be able to get up to 8 rounds. Winterfox, they still have the reserves to purchase here, but again, they just keep getting these opening picks at B lately from Noble.
So it'll be a direct take again from Noble to work themselves onto that B site. No trouble at all getting themselves in here, just ripping apart people from Winterfox left and right. And they can even get additionally more aggressive here as rob-wiz is going to put himself beyond the area of the B site, guarding heaven. He knows there's nothing being played here, and Winterfox, again, obviously, you can already realize this, there's no choice for these guys. They have to save. There's no way they can play a 2-on-5 retake.
Yeah, not at all. Just have to try to take these guns for the last round of the half. I mean, when you look over at the money, they've actually kind of run dry in that regard, so they're not going to have a whole lot to work with, and that means Noble's set up to maybe kind of get that 10-5 to end the half, which would be really, really huge on this map. I mean, I know this map has some balance to it. It's not like crazy sided either way, but this is still a map where you kind of expect a slight CT leaning, and Noble going to deny that to Winterfox. As, like I said, they just been destroying that B-bomb site left and right.
At the end of this one here, we do see a couple more traded out. One more of these big guns is dropped from the side of Winterfox, so this final round, they're not going to have all that much being brought into it. Desi, thankfully, able to buy himself up another rifle, as is LeX. That AK is going to get tossed over to Xp3, but the final 2 players, flowsicK and Anger, going to have to roll with upgraded pistols here, and that's not going to look so good against Noble, who have got pretty much everything they could ever want. Full utility, even some upgraded pistols sitting on players like Flom and emong, so these guys are sitting absolutely perfectly at this point. And ultimately should be able to come out on top, but we have seen Winterfox work these rounds before, so we don't want to call it just as of yet. There's Roa, though, finding the first one. Desi trades it back out, though, and tries to get aggressive, looking for an additional kill, and he's going to find it. Shuts down shots. This squeaky push has ultimately failed. LeX getting some good damage over here on a Flom, but he hits some on a Desi, too, so got to be a little bit more careful with this one. But look at Desi's position. He's completely inside of A. They don't expect him to be there. LeX holds his own angle, so they shut down both these guys, and LeX finds another one. That's a great hold there by Winterfox. LeX and Desi do a perfect job of holding that A site. Great momentum, more specifically coming out there from Desi, and that just allows them to absolutely dominate Noble on that last round.
Yeah, Desi's really the hero of the round, right? Just being able to push squeaky door, find 2 kills, slip around the smoke, and get the backstab for the final. And then LeX obviously did his part as well. And that's really the 2 guys that really stepped up for this team just throughout the half, gave them a lot of their round wins. And that B-bomb site, though, that really, really was a huge hindrance to Winterfox's success. I felt like the only time they really were able to put a hold on B was when Xp3 was sitting there with an op. Anytime they just tried to do something more standard, like, 2 rifles in the area, they just got, ripped apart. That's something to be concerned about with Winterfox hitting the iBuyPower Cup and Cash being such a popular map in the NA scene. It would really stink to see them burn a ban on Cash, when there's other maps out there that they probably haven't even had a chance to practice on at all very much going into the event. So that's not really a good sign going forward unless they can find a way to pull this out on the terrorist side. There's still hope. Like we said, this map does have those terrorist opportunities. It's not crazy, leaning to either direction as far as sidedness. So with the pistol round victory, especially, Winterfox will certainly creep right back into this one.
So we're going to have them jumping onto the T side now. Noble starts on the CT side here in our second half, so we'll see how well they can play things out here. In terms of if Winterfox pick up their first round, they're going to be able to immediately swing things back. As Noble, unfortunately, won't be able to get that third round response out as the Ts can normally do so. So this can allow them to tie things up at 9 and right from the get-go, but before they get that chance, they're going to have to win out this pistol, and not a great start. The pop flash along with the push combo coming out there from shots gets a nice little headshot onto LeX. They do some good damage to Xp3 too. He's already down at 42 HP. emong, look at him holding Squeaky over here, picking up those 3 kills back to back to back. Anger, flowsicK, and Desi all falling down. And just like this round is entirely on Xp3, but he too has got some headshot skills. Picks up one of these guys, spots a lot more back over here by the truck, but that nade's going to bounce in, brings him down even lower, now at 32 HP, and he's got to deal with everybody on this site. It's not even like he can run away and try to make a B take either. There's a bomb on the ground, so he's got to push for this, and obviously, again, the odds are not going to look so good, unfortunately.
Nah, I think this is pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's going to wind up dropping this round, and Noble will get that edge going forward. He's still trying to see if he can't find a shot. I mean, Noble content to pretty much hold position except for this jump peeking from rob-wiz. He does take a goose, so he will go ahead and kind of chill out now. But Xp3 is just taking so much damage. Every time he peeks out, he just takes a little bit more. It's surprising he's even still alive at this point. Just really drawing this thing out as long as he can. This is insane that this round is still happening right now. Finally, shots will put an end to it there. And, I mean, the way they played out wasn't so bad. Yeah, you get an initial pick from Noble, but you have both CTs kind of towards A main. So when you come out the door, if you can get past that, that's a free sight. But, I mean, obviously, emong shut it down, right, with that hat trick. That was a pretty big play.
Xp3 at the end, they're basically just trying to bait out any additional kills that he can grab to stack up some money there. Just hide behind A main. He's like, come on, guys, I'm right here. Come get me. But nobody's going to oblige that. They all just sit nice and safely on the site itself, and that basically at the end of it, we just saw Xp3 running out. He's basically like, well, screw it, and he dies. So that's the end of this one. A very light second round. Actually, no, I scratched that. I just did the armor just now. So we just see the armor investment coming in from multiple players here on Winterfox, but some do take it pretty light. So they're going to go directly for this take. Doesn't really pan out so well. 4 kills right at the beginning there for Noble. And then the 5th one comes out almost immediately after that. Shots finds the final one on the LeX. And then we have now 11 points for Noble, and this should allow them to solidify their lead, at least here on this second map, by a pretty big margin now, potentially up to 12 points, as we will not see a third-round buy-up coming here from Winterfox.
That's pretty much like the official popular second-round tactic for teams that lost pistol. Just try to overload the door, close the distance quick with the pistols, and try to get a plant. And that's what Winterfox went for, but Noble kind of aware of that meta, being able to position themselves properly for that and deal with it with little hassle. Now we're just going to see a big mid-rush from Winterfox. They get out the garage, but take a heap of damage along the way. They're still pushing this highway here, and they have found one frag, but shots still hold them off. Finally, he's traded out, and there's maybe a shot at the bomb plant now.
We do see Flom still coming back in for main, though, and they don't expect him to be here, so he actually doesn't finish off flowsicK. flowsicK has one mission and one mission alone, and that's get the damn bomb on the floor. He's going to do it, but very quickly after this, he'll go down. We've already got the defuse coming in. Xp3 doesn't even matter, and he knows it, so he's just sitting here looking for any additional kills he can grab. Won't be able to do so, yeah. No, he's not going to grab any kills at the end there. Trying to figure it out so I can finish my sentence, but he's not going to grab any kills there at the end, and we will see him pretty quickly taken down there by Flom as well. So there we have it. Noble up to 6-12 as we expected it, taking a very big lead, but this also transitions us into Winterfox's first gun round here, including the op on Xp3 with armor sitting behind it as well.
Yeah, we're going to look at their default now, see what they're thinking about doing here. They do have flowsicK lurking B, kind of his classic position. Anger and A main. Desi will be playing squeaky door, so maybe the more aggressor towards the A side of the map. We do see Anger actually be able to pick up a push there from Shots at A main, and he also finds Flom, so really well done here from Anger. He's just coming through, taking care of things by himself. One-man army opens up the A bomb site, and Winterfox, they quickly pretty much take this round.
Xp3 there too, just holds off any sort of rotation from middle. Is going to shut down one more of these guys. Now it's just Roa holding the box over here just outside of Z, picking up 1 kill, but again, no real hope for the retake. He's slowly been surrounded. Ironically enough, I mean, or conveniently enough, I should say for him, if he is able to take out, I believe this is LeX over here, then the site would technically be open, but that's not going to be the case. They eventually line up that flank against him from flowsicK there, who wraps all the way around the B site, and that just shuts him right out of the play. So there you have it, Winterfox do pick up the round. They're not out of this one just yet, and with a round that goes as well as this one too, this is going to hurt Noble's pockets, but they do have enough left over to go for another force buy here, and it will be a double op setup as well, so they've got a little bit more work to do from the side of Winterfox before they can pick up some free rounds and try to tie things up.
Yeah, that was just really well done from Anger, man. What can you say? Just makes a heads-up play, catches the aggression, and is able to come out and just clear out the A-bomb side single-handedly, and that's pretty much the round, so really well done, but rob-wiz will take this op in the checkers. He'll find that pick on the lurker, flowsicK at B. Doesn't really give him too much information, because that's where he's always going to be, but it does give you a really early edge in the round. Desi challenging back a bit, but also takes a lot of damage himself there in the squeaky door. And man, that's rob-wiz with another one. They just keep challenging him. He's taking him out.
That was a bit comical too, because I don't think Xp3 lined up that jump properly, so he doesn't go out all the way, but he goes out enough to where the rob-wiz is able to see like his arms and whatnot there. So he just takes the shot, finds him through the beam, eliminates him, and now for Winterfox once again here. We'll see their final 3 players try to make an entry on A, but this is very predictable. And we just see the guys from Noble able to come back in here and shut this down pretty quickly. LeX still alive, but now down at 10 HP and surrounded by potentially every single player here from Noble. Not a whole lot left he can do. Looking for maybe a kill to find one of these guys that maybe flank him and whatnot, but it's not the case. Everybody's just waiting for him here on the site. And all one of these members from Noble has to do is find that final shot. And it's going to be Roa that closes things out here and gives Noble their 13th point.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see Winterfox here struggling on that T side. They had that one crazy individual effort from Anger to win around, but other than that, it's been tough on them. And I'd really like to see Desi more use an entry frag position. I mean, that door position is kind of more of like a Swado lurker type style play. I mean, obviously your main lurker is kind of in B lobby, but door is kind of another more passive rifle, I guess you'd say. So I'd like to see them maybe implement Desi a bit more on A lobby if they're going to do some type of A hit or something like that. But regardless, we are going to see Winterfox just tech 9ing up and trying to take a big B rush, but already loads of damage coming in.
There's 2 kills right off the bat here. Another one coming back in. Roa just holds the mini pit like a champ. Already picking up 3 kills. He's got Rob to support him here as this final player, Xp3, going to try to surprise from checkers. But that's not the case. Rob lines up the shot that closes it out. And now Noble just 2 more points away from ending the second map and taking us to a map number 3 on Cobble.
Right. Winterfox here. This is kind of their last chance to keep this in 2 maps. Otherwise, we will move on to the 3rd map, which is going to be Cobblestone, I believe. We'll see if they can find something here with this last effort. And as we do see, Not any lurk over at B this time. They seem to be setting up for a really, really fast mid control. First time they've done this, so we'll see how it pans out. Emong waiting for it at sandbags and finds a kill, so is Roa, so not working out at all, actually.
I think Noble just shutting it down. We saw some good things from Winterfox when they got the guns into their hands, but Noble are able to very quickly react to this. This round, however, not done just as of yet. They get partial control of the A site, and now they've got to hold highway. LeX finds another frag. He's going to shut down shots. A good nade, and look at all the damage it's done here now. Emong and Roa both get it pretty heavily by this one. They'll attempt to stack a player over here on top of the shed, but I don't think they can actually boost him all the way up on top of that from that position. So now we're going to see here too this retake attempt. Xp3 a little bit too far peeked out. LeX did find a kill, but again, he's positioned himself over here on top of Big Red, so way out in the open, and Emong is just going to be able to tap him down there pretty quickly, and that will be Noble up to 15 points. One more away. They've basically got this one in the bag, even if Winterfox could come back now and win this one on Eco. Just look at the bank that Noble have stacked up here as well on some of their players.
Yeah, I mean, this is not looking good at all. That was their last hurrah right there. That was their last round. They could really afford rifles, and they tried it for mid-control for the first time, and it just didn't work out. They got shut down by the axe of Roa and Emong over there at mid, and so this is probably all over unless something crazy happens. So all they can really do is just gather up and push something and hope for the best. They do get out mid this time, and they're setting up for something mid to be split, but it's getting just absolutely shut down.
There's Flom with a good shot. Shuts down one. Gonna find another one here. Roa is absolutely destroying it. The GG's already been called there by LeX. Xp3 will see what he can do, but it won't be all that much. The smokes are gone. Picks up a second kill. Able to take down shots, but now this nade's gonna come in. That should hit him pretty heavily. Only 20 HP. HE grenades suck. So now he's actually got an up, so he's gonna try to move himself somewhere where he could try to work this, but unfortunately he's lost bomb control, and this is really the biggest thing, is that, you know, despite the kills he's picked up, is that he still has to go back in, and he's basically, you know, he has to go to this one spot, he wants to clutch this out. Yes, he could save it, but obviously again, he'll lose the round, or he'll lose the map off of that, so wouldn't be the best course of action. And now he's
even if he gets this kill, there's one sunroom, so...
Yeah, the sunroom is probably going to be able to kill him. He finds this, he still doesn't even investigate sunroom, so Roa just lines it up. That's going to end it. 16-7 will be the score here for map number 2, guys, and we will be seeing Noble pick it up. That's going to tie things up at 1-1 and throw us on to map number 3, which is going to be on Cobblestone.
Yeah, this is actually one of the first third maps we've really seen. I feel like a lot of the games we've seen have been more 2-0, but we are going to see a third map here. It is going to be on Cobblestone, so... it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. A map, again, we haven't seen Winterfox play a whole lot, and the 2 times they have played it, they've been losses. And again, Noble's kind of one of those teams that's an unknown value since they don't compete in the pro scene a whole lot. And the only Cobblestone we've seen them play at the pro level was a loss to complexity in their own right. So it'll be very interesting once again to see how that shapes up. But I guess we'll take a quick break first before we get to that.
And we'll be right back, guys, in just a minute with the final map of the set between Winterfox and Noble right here at the StarLadder Star Series.